Your beard was struggling until you found the elegant Sasquatch.
It's Suplex Syndicate time! Let's get ready to rumble!
Chaos, you should have put this one in the vault, man. They not ready.
I am Tactical Santa, the Smack Talker Slaywalker, the Michael Jordan of Kringle Jingle! If you're not down with the Squatch, you can suck it! Spray and slay with the Fragrance Fiend! Suplex Syndicate, baby! Heads off! Rock! And you can't teach that. Hey! What am I doing with these two clowns?
Sponsored by the Elegant Sasquatch.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Suplex Syndicate. I am the Slaywalker Smack Talker #1 from day one, Tactical Santa, and I am joined by my man, 30 Spray J, the Fragrance Fiend, the man, the myth, the legend himself, and our newly appointed permanent, not guest, co-host on this show, Shifty Switchblade. What is happening, fellas? How is your day going? And I'll tell you what, it's kind of cool. Like, I wasn't really expecting this until a couple days ago when we talked and we're like, you know what? Let's do a show. So we were like, Sunday is Easter. We can't do it on Easter. Let's do it on Saturday, and we're going to make it happen. I'll tell you what, I am glad we're here. We're going to have a fun time. But guys, before we get into the show, let's say hello to some of the people that are in the chat, because we got some. We got Ray Smokey. What's going on, Ray Smokey? How are you doing tonight, brother? Trying to get that up there. See, internet doing internet things. We got Doug Leslies. Awesome, man. First time here, I think. We got OG Fitzroy. What's going on, OG Fitzroy? Got Robert Allen. What's going on, my brother? So we got some others, but I can't see them. I think they're on the phone stream. So any which way, guys, we have got a lot of awesome wrestling to talk about tonight. But before we go, what is in the beard today? Because it is. I paused.
It is not Sasquatch. It is not Sasquatch Sunday. It is Sasquatch Saturday. So shout out to the Elegant Sasquatch, Ray Smokey. Yes, there will be 4 people on in a race. We are missing the Elegant Sasquatch because he's doing his thing, selling these great products up in Jersey. We all got Elegant Sasquatch in. Sway Walker looks like he's rocking the rest in peace. Beardomania 1. Shifty's got some Lover Boy. Ooh,
Lover Boy. I'm rocking the oil and the butter.
Ooh. How do you like that whipped butter by Elegant Sasquatch? Because and I'm not blowing smoke. That is probably top 3 butters in the small batch world. If you don't know about Elegant Sasquatch's whipped butter, you better hurry up because the temperatures are rising up. Douglas got Gentleman in, dude.
That is one of my
Elegant
favorites.
Sasquatch.
I got the beard wash
Yes.
in Gentleman, and beard wash in Gentleman, the oil in Gentleman, man, that is an awesome scent profile. You're missing out if you don't have that one. But guys, he's got something special coming up, and I believe he's released on April 15th, I believe is what he said. But Beardomania 2, and he's been dropping some clues. He dropped the John Cena one, and didn't he drop a Macho Man Randy Savage hint?
Oh, so yeah, he did. Oh, yeah.
There's going to be I believe you said there is there 3 or 4, Jay? Correct me, because I got old man dementia. There's 4? All right.
4.
So, guys,
4
there's gonna be
for sure.
4 parts in the Beardmania that Elegant's gonna be dropping pretty soon, but listen, if you haven't tried them, you need to try them. He makes some awesome products, small batch company. Man, this guy is kicking ass. I've been following him and, been supporting him for the last 2 years. So get yourself some Elegant Sasquatch. Let's help him out because you know what? We are a badass community that supports each other. With that being said, man, we got so much wrestling happening, and I don't know where to start. So I kind of left the studio like I did last week. So why don't we start off with everything that has to do around the Roman and CM Punk match that's going to
Oh,
happen at WrestleMania?
oh,
Uh,
oh man. Shifty, I'm gonna let you just run it, buddy. Tell me what's going on. I will just throw our inputs in.
I mean, honestly, this Monday was pretty much it was a reverse role of what happened last week. Honestly,
Right.
Yeah.
CM Punk was the aggressor and he beat the crap out of Roman and put him through a powerbomb through a table. But I don't know if you guys watched it though. Roman had to help him with the powerbomb because he almost botched it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He couldn't lift
it-
that Samoan.
yeah. I don't know, man. They have to. It's not wow factoring me right now with this.
Right.
The Roman
Right.
CM Punk. The only thing that wowed me was when Punk said something about Roman's dad. That was it. And
Right.
other than that, I haven't really been wowed. It's I'm hoping it gets a little better. I mean, Mania is 2 weeks away
Right.
or
Yeah.
13 days or something like that. So it's like, okay, we're gonna. It's something it's got to change, man. It's got to get more exciting and bring the people in because they're two great athletes, two great wrestlers. Let's hopefully something happens.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, in the chat, let us know what you think about Roman Reigns and the CM Punk situation right now. We're going to continue on, but man, let's get some of you guys talking in the chat. What do you have to say about this? What are your thoughts? But we're going to keep rolling and Jay, continue on, brother.
Oh man, so if you didn't notice at the end of CM Punk's thing after he magically powerbomb Roman with the help of Roman throwing himself up,
Right.
he got up on the
Right.
barricade and he had some words with some fans and middle finger this, middle finger that. That's not CM Punk's straight edge. That's a little AEW CM Punk maybe. But it also throws back to when Triple H did it back in the day. Triple H, gave some hand gestures to some people during, a big title match right before a big title match with him. So, are we going to see a heel turn from CM Punk? Are we going to see another Paul Heyman guy? Are we going to see a corporate CM Punk? Man, we could go on all night about this, but I feel like, and I hope it doesn't happen. I hope that Roman Reigns doesn't get screwed because, if Sasquatch was here smacking on a sandwich, he would say, "Oh, CM Punk's gonna eat it, get it all." Yep, CM Punk.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, is like, so what was the faction that CM Punk was in when he had Luke Gallows and stuff like that? The way Punk is acting reminds me of how Punk was then. He was the Antichrist of wrestling or whatever he called himself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, a heel turn for Punk is going to be good because I feel like he thrives being a heel. And corporate, it might happen. I think we're going to see a couple of corporate turns. I don't know. Something's going to happen.
I think so too. I think there is a lot of probably the best way to do this is at the end after we go through everybody's matches. Let's talk about the corporate idea that we were talking about backstage. Let's make everything else, but there's some stuff that obviously makes sense and dots are starting to connect with certain things. So we'll go through that.
Real quick, you notice how it's really in your face about what's happening over on SmackDown with the other title. But the swerves are not in your face with CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
Right.
There's gonna be some draw dropping moments at WrestleMania.
Right.
The straight edge society. That's what it was. The straight edge.
That's what
society.
it was. Straight edge society. Yep.
Thank you, Robert Allen.
Right.
Thank you.
Now
SES. That's right.
Yeah. Let's get into the Brock and Oba situation because we almost saw a face off, but it got split up by Triple H.
Man,
I think
you know,
I gotta tell you what,
mm,
I think the way that they're doing the draw for this match, they're building
mm,
hype on this match.
100%.
They're giving us bits, they're giving us little bits and pieces. This match, and I think we've all said it, this match should be a main event match at WrestleMania. It should not be anything but that. King Kong versus Godzilla main event. These two are going to wreck the house. They're going to tear the roof off. This should have been a main event match right here.
Yeah.
hang on. Let me get my shifty hat on. Okay.
Are you? Does that wait? Does that mean when you do that? Are you shifting gears? Is that our clue that you're shifting gears?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we
So
go.
what I was upset about is they put Brock all up in his wrestling gear for not even, he needed a little bit of payback. He put the gloves on, bro. Let them give the man a little bit of payback. He's been getting his ass handed to him. Now that's shocking enough. That is shocking enough that Brock Lesnar is getting his
Are you
ass
ready?
handed.
I'm gonna shock you. I'm gonna shift gears too. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So the fact that it's being broken up like right before a UFC match, we'll just call it that because we got TKO, taking
Right.
control of things and
Right.
everything. But the suspense is killing me, man. This match is gonna be. I don't know who's gonna take it. I want to see the torch pass to Femi, but I'm thinking that this is gonna be a long feud, and I hope it is a long feud. I hope
I,
this is.
I don't think it's gonna be long. I think like we talked about, Royce Keys is gonna come in because here's the thing though. If Oba loses because outside interference, people are gonna still look at this and go, Brock needed somebody to help him to win. It still gets passed to Oba, right? Because
Yeah.
Oba doesn't lose any face. If there's outside interference and Royce Keys comes in and helps Brock Lesnar, Brock had to cheat to beat Oba. He still has that rocket attached to his back. Brock doesn't wrestle him again because he needs that torch to be passed that way to say, oh, Brock was too scared. He didn't want another match with them because he knew he'd lose. And that's
Yeah.
how they run with that. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
that's my big thing too. Is this actually scares me a little bit, because if say Brock doesn't get help and it's just a pure squash match, like he
Right.
just beats Oba, it's gonna hurt Oba's career 100%. If Brock comes into WrestleMania and just dominates and destroys Oba Femi, I mean,
Right.
they're pushing him for no reason.
The thing
Absolutely
is
no reason.
the reason why I don't think he's going to win is because too many times has Paul Heyman dropped this that Brock is not going to lose until SummerSlam
No.
when he retires. And I've got to think that too because, like I said, there's other ways to pass the torch to Oba. What
Yeah.
it does set up is like you were saying, Jay, it sets up an awesome series of matches between Oba and Royce Keys. And Royce Keys taking the new placement of Brock as a Paul Heyman guy, being the powerhouse in the Paul Heyman stable. And we're going to see awesome matches with those guys. But like I said, here's the thing. I think Royce is going to come down, help Brock Lesnar. Oba loses no face, and everything just happens.
So what you're
That's my
saying is
prediction.
Royce Keys is going to be the new Paul Heyman guy.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm good with that because AEW, when he was Brian Hobbs, they kind of mishandled him. This
Right.
guy, he's a beast, and all he needs
Right.
is someone to be his mic, like be on the mic for him until he learns how to do it and builds his skills, and then he's gonna be dominant for a while.
Right. And that's why I think it makes sense, right? Brock is retiring. We all know Brock is retiring at SummerSlam. The Paul Heyman faction needs a powerhouse. You put Royce Keys in there, he checks all the boxes, and you set up some awesome matches between him and Oba because honestly, when him and Oba start their feud, nobody loses in that as far as like if Royce Keys loses to Oba. There's no losing face in that. Oba is a monster. If
Yeah.
Oba loses a couple times to Royce Keys, there's no losing face because Royce is a monster. So it's one of those where they can draw some awesome crowds, have some awesome matches, and nobody loses face. Nobody looks weak because both them guys are beasts.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
for everyone that, where's Royce Keys been since Royal Rumble? He just had a dark match. They're working him.
Mhm.
They're working him
Right.
behind the
Yep.
scenes. So sooner
Right.
or later, he's going to be a main eventer. That's not,
Right.
he's what, as much as he was underutilized in AEW, he is
Right.
a top contender. He didn't go to
Right.
next. He's going to be in there. There's going to be some great storylines with him.
Well,
And I think
well,
you're right.
if you think about it this way, if my goal was to have Royce Keys in this storyline and then end up feuding with Oba, having him not be on TV is the best thing you can do.
Yep.
Because you don't want people thinking about him. They want this to be a surprise. When he comes out and helps Brock Lesnar, this is going to be one of those, oh my God, I can't believe it happened, and it's Royce Keys, and now he's a Paul Heyman guy. That's what they're going for. You know what I'm saying? Because where do you place him right now? If you had him on TV for the last 2 months, what do you do with him?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? So
No.
you might as well just have him be off TV, getting ready for when he's really going to make the move. And I think it's smart on their part doing that because, like I said, and you've said, he is going to be a main event guy. He is a monster. So, yeah.
Also, now the tables are turning with the way the real world is. We may not get a Mania in Saudi next year. So what if that does not happen? They have to make it 2 times as big as what they were already trying to make it for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
here's the big one. Cody
let's
and
go.
Orton. Cody and Orton.
Let's
Orton.
go. I'll start this. For weeks, we've been thinking in that there's voices in Randy's head and he's been on the phone and who could it be? We had all our guesses. We thought it was some Cowboy Bob. We thought it was Batista, Ric Flair, some Evolution. We even thought Randy was talking to himself. But what do we get? We get a commentator. We get Pat McAfee. As the guy that makes Randy Orton go from.
Let's call it what it is, Jay. It's a swerve.
Okay.
It's a swerve.
Because Pat McAfee, as stylish and funny as he is, and some good outfits he has, that man doesn't rock some jabroni glasses, some Brahma bull belt buckles. I think he was trying to play a little cosplay over here and whiteboarded some rock.
Right.
So,
right.
I think we're all in agreement. We're hoping that this is the biggest swerve of wrestling because if it's not, like Cody said after he got his ass handed to him, got kicked in the balls by Pat, he is a field goal kicker.
Puncher.
That had to hurt.
Right.
He said, this is like if the NWO was talking about the third man and it wasn't Hulk Hogan and it was Disco Inferno.
I got to tell you, hold on a second. I got to tell you, brilliant line by Cody. Whoever played that or whoever wrote that, when I heard that in Disco Inferno, dude, I about fell out the chair. That was awesome.
It was said that was unscripted and that was all Cody. So props
Kudos
out
to him. Kudos to him.
Yeah, that was probably
awesome.
the best promo that Cody has cut in a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Poor Disco.
You
know what? Hold on a second. Poor Disco Inferno. 20 years after WCW and everything he did, he is still the butt of all jokes. Poor Disco Inferno. Man.
Poor Disco. He was a good wrestler too. He was.
Hey, at least he didn't call him Alex Wright.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
But
Wonderkind, yes, Wonderkind.
What it does though is, Stephanie McMahon smacking him in the face last week and saying, you don't have it to beat Randy. And I was really hoping she was going to bring up the kiss the kick in the face, something. I was hoping she was going to bring up some old history, but
Right.
Stephanie does what Stephanie does, and does the signature Stephanie smack, and this is what they're building up to something, and this can't be the end of it, because I'll say what every meme is saying online right now. When he said there's more than one royal family, what royal family is Pat McAfee a part of?
None.
None at all.
None.
So
None.
go ahead, guys. Give me your thoughts on this.
It's got to be a swerve for the build up and what they put too much time and effort in this for it to be Pat McAfee. Number one, it connects no dots. It makes no sense for him to be the one pulling the strings. It makes no sense. I think what they're trying to do is it's a swerve to get everybody to believe that it's Pat McAfee, and then when what really does happen, and when it does, people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, nobody saw that coming." No, we all saw it coming. So yeah, it's just a swerve. It's a distraction. It's a swerve. It is not Pat McAfee. I mean, if they really want to do it better, they should have just rehired Doink the Clown and had Doink the Clown come out and do it.
Don't disrespect Doink like that.
It would have been better than Pat McAfee. At least it would have made some sort of sense. I mean, if you're gonna do a clown move like that, you might as well have a real clown out there doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I just when I seen it with Pat McAfee, I was just like, oh God, please tell me this isn't true. I was hoping that it wasn't, but then I noticed the glasses, the big belt buckle, and then the Jordans he was wearing. And I was like, nah, the Jordans I can see Pat wearing, right? But the belt buckle, the glasses, the way he carried himself reminded me a little Rockish. I was like, you got a little Dwayne in you right now, buddy. Like, what's going on here? It's
just because
what?
I can't miss the opportunity. These ones right here.
Yeah, exactly.
These ones right here. These ones right here.
He just yeah, and like Jay said, royal family is not a part of a royal family or wrestling royalty. So it's like, okay, it's gonna be someone from it's gonna be The Rock, 100%. If it's not The Rock and they keep it as Pat McAfee, it's gonna be super let down. I read online too that the ratings for SmackDown were awful this week because of this whole Cody Pat McAfee thing. And it's like you gotta build your ratings up to keep fans interested. And I feel like with a couple segments, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and the Cody and Randy thing, and I feel like they're losing fans. Fans are turning the channel when this comes on. Or they start seeing it and they're like, oh, this looks exactly like what we watched last week. Yeah, it's right. They have to pull us in. Something has to happen.
Right.
I and after the court thing with Ted Jr. and how he got cleared and everything, I thought this was kind of hopeful for me, but they can't bring up Ted Sr. because he's still going through everything. So unfortunately, I don't think Ted Jr. is coming.
Well, and honestly, Ted Jr. is not in shape at all right now to wrestle.
Right.
No. Like, he's been in prison for a year eating protein waffles.
He's not at all.
But you look at it though. How many people though? If you look at it though, how many people would go, "Oh my God, it's Ted DiBiase Jr."
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna get that pop.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get it. This, if you go back to what WWE has said the past couple of years, they're into long time storytelling. Long time storytelling, right? This was already the seeds were already planted last WrestleMania when Cody turned down The Rock. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's long-term storytelling. There's no way somebody last year said, "You want what's going to be awesome is let's plant Pat McAfee as the guy that's got the voices in the head for nobody did that."
Rumors were that TKO stepped in and wanted Pat and included because he brings ratings, but
right included, it doesn't. But he's not going to be the man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's your cameo spot, McAfee. You're relevant again for like, I don't know, a week, and now we can move on to the regular
Hey,
programming.
I love Pat on commentary. He's
Sure.
hilarious,
Sure,
and
sure,
he
I
has
do.
Me too.
had a decent couple
Right.
beefs, but to be a part of this storyline doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
He's definitely a better commentator than Wade Barrett, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure, 100%, 100%. All right, fellas, let's move on to the next one. We'll talk about because this one's got some heat behind it too. The Cargill Ripley situation. There's rumors going
Go.
around. There's rumors going
Here
around that
we
supposedly
go.
Rhea's going to get hurt next week, and she's not going to be at WrestleMania, and Tiffany Stratton's going to be the step-in. I think that would probably be the
Ew.
worst idea ever. It'd be the worst idea ever. Why? And they're saying there's real life beef, but the thing is I haven't seen them beefing back and forth on Instagram or Facebook or any of the socials. So, I mean, I don't know. You never know what to really take as the truth, but if they do that, it's a bad move. They need to just make this match happen and do what's supposed to be done.
Yeah. I think it hurts
it'll
Rhea.
happen. It would hurt Rhea. And Rhea's too big. She's already starred in 3 WrestleManias straight now.
Mhm.
Yep.
This is too big of a match. Even if Rhea loses this match, even if Rhea get
Mhm.
this is a story that needs to be told, and it's going to be told for the next year. This is going to be
Right.
a good rivalry.
Mhm. Right.
So hopefully, I haven't read a lot into social media this week because it being April 1st and everything, there has been a
Right.
lot
Yeah.
of
Right.
things. So I hope
I
that
mean,
Tiffy thing isn't true.
when you think about this is the women's match. I mean, how much really does anybody, and I'm not throwing shade on any of the other 2 women involved in the other heavyweight championship match, but I don't think anybody really cares about Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan going at it.
No.
They're not generating any. I mean, you don't see anything about that. When they're talking about the women's title, they're talking about this match right here. So
Yeah.
if they build this up like
Yeah.
this, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, oh, we're going to throw Tiffany in there, they shot themselves in the foot. That is going to be a stupidest move that they could do in the women's division.
Yeah. No, I
I
agree.
just wish
I
that they
agree.
could find
Mhm.
I wish that they
Look.
could find the right sauce and get the right thickness to that barbecue that, was Attitude Era. They keep saying, "Oh, they're
Right.
not so PG. Oh, Netflix is letting them do this on Raw, this, that, the other." It's there. The makings are there. They just need the right long time storytelling. It's definitely
Yeah.
not Tiffy time.
Let me add a
It's not.
caveat. Let me add a caveat to this because we talked about this last week. Did
Mhm.
anybody notice last night when Michin wrestled how awesome she looked wrestling Rhea?
Oh yeah. She's
Bro.
a great in-ring talent, 100%.
But here's
A
the
great
thing,
in-ring
right?
talent.
Here's the thing, right? If they wouldn't have put her in this clique with Jade, would she be getting the airtime to show everybody that right now?
No.
No.
So I
No.
really think it was a smart move putting her. I mean, even BFAB was moving in the ring pretty good last night. Michin,
Yeah.
dude, I'll tell you what. I thought Michin was going to win there for a second. Dude, she was really doing her thing. And that's the thing is a lot of people don't like the fact that there's a clique now with Jade, BFAB, and Michin, but dude, they're all bringing each other up. They're doing a fantastic job, So
Yeah.
I think the click. I think that click is working. There'll be more on that a little bit later here in this episode because I think there's some more stuff that's going to happen. But anyway, that's pretty much the basis of that match that we've heard about in the past couple days. But hopefully it stays the same and there's no step in. There's no injury.
But do you think it's true that, every time that the ones that get beat up really bad before Mania actually wins? Because if you're seeing it correctly,
Mhm.
and if they keep playing it this way,
Right.
Rhea's getting her ass handed to her. Roman just recently got his ass handed to him.
Mhm.
Cody's getting his ass handed to him. If that's the case, and if that's how the chips fumble too, then how's this story? We need all these villains to win. Really, we need all the heels to win.
I think there's a big difference now, though. I think with TKO involved, I don't
Yeah,
think this is going to be
it's not.
typical storytelling.
Yeah,
And
No.
here's the
yeah.
thing: if Rhea wins, right? If Rhea wins, as a company and a storyline, what do you gain from Rhea winning?
Nothing really, because she's already got the
Nothing.
star power.
Nothing. If
Yeah.
you have Jade win and her clique continuing to be dominant, now you have other storylines you can do, and now you have 3 superstars that you can do story.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, I'll just say this: there'll be another storyline with a 4th member that's going to be there. So you gain everything by having Jade and the clique win. You know, we'll get in. I don't want to spoil it. We'll get into that. We'll get into my theories a little bit later. Let's go to the next match. We're going to talk about this one right here. Come on, switch.
I know you didn't add anything I wanted
No.
to talk about. I know you
You
didn't.
always want to talk about that, but what if? So now we're well. Before we get into that, there is one that I didn't have a screen set up for because we do need to talk to about it. Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre.
Man,
I think I'm actually that's the other than Oba and Brock. I think that's the match I want to see.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's the one for me. Just because everybody knows, like the last couple weeks I've been on the since I've come onto the show, I'm a huge Jacob Fatu fan,
Right.
100%. And then seeing him wear that shirt, the FAFO or FU shirt, it's like, all right, man, like someone's gonna join. I don't know who it's gonna be. I don't know what. There's gonna be another Samoan faction.
I
I
don't
don't know
think
who.
so. I think you and Jay have read into the trend. Look at Brock Lesnar. He has a FA F5. Fatu
Yeah.
has
That's fine. I'm with Shifty.
Listen, how many shirts do you think sold because he has that FA that shirt? It's a trend. There's not going to be another Samoan faction. I'm telling you, they're just making shirts. I'm telling you.
Or what if it's like what if it's Tama Tonga joining Jacob Fatu because they were friends when they were a part of the the MFTs or Bloodline 2.0 or whatever they want to call themselves. It could happen. There's something's there. I think.
Sure, and that's a tag team. That's not a faction. So,
well, it brings over Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. We got a faction.
So now we have MFT's version 3.0 and we have Timu and all this going on. Like, I don't think we're going
to Santa, calm down. Let us have our what ifs. Let us have our what ifs.
We haven't got to this Wyatt 6 yet, so you can calm down.
Yeah.
No,
listen, I love all the Samoans that are in there, but what I'm thinking is this whole thing of having so many Samoan clicks is going to be over with. I think we're coming into a new age in WWE where it's going to be like, you know what? There's going to be a bigger picture. I don't think we're going to have all these Samoan clicks. It's going to be a bigger mission for everybody. Because listen, how many times do we have to have Samoan bloodlines or MFTs or whatever? How many different versions do you want? How many times can you scrub that and how many times can you recycle this over and over?
With the amount of kids that they all have, it's going to keep going for decades.
But here's the thing: at what point do you say I'm tired of this? You just sat there. You just sat there a couple 2 months ago, Jay, and we agreed that the bloodline's getting kind of old.
Yes, the bloodline's getting old.
So what is it going to evolve to? Oh, it's another bloodline. It's more Samoans. It's another bloodline. It's more MFT. It's another Samoan thing.
First of all, there is only one bloodline, and you recognize your tribal chief. Acknowledge him.
I'm just kidding.
But I think The Rock kind of set the bar, and then Roman Reigns really carried it.
Sure.
So I'm saying that there is going to be Samoan in WWE for years to come.
And I'm not arguing with that. I'm arguing that I don't think there needs to be more Samoan factions. Why can't Jacob Fatu just be Jacob Fatu and be the man and carry that heavyweight belt? He doesn't need to be in a faction.
I just don't think, as much as we think that Jacob Fatu is right there at Roman Reigns level, I think they're gonna push him back for another year or two. I think they're gonna put him in the tag teams. I think I think that maybe Paul Heyman said it last week. If WWE remisses and doesn't sign Zilla, as soon as possible.
Sure.
And if they do
Sure.
sign Zilla, then they're not going to put him in that lane yet either. So they're going to have to milk. They're going to milk the tag teams. The Usos, as much as they're running on the Usos right now, there's going to be some kind of tribal heir or whatever that they trademarked for Jay. And then Jimmy's going to have to take some time off because the baby had just been born and everything. Jimmy's been around. Naomi hasn't. Right. So Naomi's going to come back, and I think we're going to get Jimmy injured, and then Jay's going to need some help. So there is room for Samoan, but you and everyone included is always talking about Bloodlines 3.0, 4.0. Stop thinking Bloodlines, because no one is going to top what Roman and the Usos did for those 5 years.
So, but if you have the same people involved, what do you call it? Obviously, it didn't work as MFT. It's not going to. What I'm saying is this: is that you can have tag teams, but I think if you keep continuing trying to put 4 Samoans together and put them as some sort of faction, I think people have had enough. You want to do tag teams? That's fine. Come up with a badass tag. I would love to see Jacob Fatu and Zilla be a tag team. I would love to see them 2 guys wreak havoc.
100%. They were a tag team in MLW.
Right.
Yeah, they were a tag team in MLW, and they were awesome, man. Awesome.
But here's the thing. I don't want to see another Samoan clique just right after that we just saw MFT fail completely.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here.
Give it some time.
They don't have the MFTs. They don't have a mouthpiece. Yeah, Solo's funny and all that stuff, but he's not a leader. We all know that he's not a leader.
Here's the thing. They pushed that way too quick. They didn't take any time to go, okay, Bloodline just ended. Let's give it some time, and then let's form something. Oh, no, right away, we're going to form this. That's what I'm saying is I don't want to see another quick Samoan faction where they mess it all up. If you want to do another faction, let it have some rest. Let it air out. Get the guys together. Actually think about this. Put it together. Get them assembled right and run it. I don't want to see another MFT.
But
they didn't do it right.
But do you think? Okay, so let's plug some things in real quick.
Sure.
Roman Reigns wins. The Usos are tag teams right now. Do we get another Bloodline run it back?
So I don't think Roman's going to win at WrestleMania. He's not going to. It's not going to. Not going to win. Not going to win. Seeds are planted. So let's just get into the what if, and I'm going to tell you my what if and my whole situation.
Hold on. Before we can get into what ifs, we didn't even talk about Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. Trick's winning 100%. Sure, honestly. So I don't know if he's going to win straight up or if it's going to be a Carmelo Hayes is going to come out and screw Sammy over because he's pissed he lost.
I think you're right though, because it's going to set everything up to have Trick Williams and Carmelo have some beef and run some matches, because those matches in NXT were awesome, and it's leading to that. Those guys can work fantastic in the ring together. They're going to put on awesome matches together, and that's what it is. Because how are you going to have Sammy win it 2 weeks before Mania?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's dropping. He's going to get beat by Trick, and Carmelo's going to come after Trick, and they're going to have some matches together.
But
I agree. But my thing was, and I've been saying it the whole time, is like, if the WrestleMania in Saudi happens, they're going to try to put a belt on Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. He's Syrian. He loves his heritage. It'll be good for the whole Middle East, if it happens. But the thing is it's money, dude. Exactly. Money's talking. Like, Saudi pretty much owns WWE right now, you know, and they're really going to own it when Vince freaking buys it back with his Saudi investors.
Well, maybe if that happens, maybe they can make a UAE belt, and they can make him the first ever to win the UAE belt.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I just had to get the Trick Williams out there because I was like, wait, we forgot about Trick Williams and Sammy. Yeah. Like, I'm excited about that match. Not gonna lie.
Me too.
Right.
What I want to talk about it, because I didn't want to bring it up, but why again do they throw a rapper, singer, whoever into it? Little Yachty.
Yeah.
Trick Williams does not need a mouthpiece. Trick Williams can run the mic. He can run the whole ring.
Because
Whatever.
Jay, we haven't been selling WrestleMania tickets, so we have to bring more celebrities into this. So people, because if Little Yachty's there, that means I'm going to get to meet him. That's why I should pay like $500 for a ticket to WrestleMania. It makes perfect sense.
Well, but
100%.
they did also sell like what $10,000 Cody Rhodes tour bus tickets. I mean,
So let me get this straight. First off, Cody Rhodes, I appreciate you trying to do that, but number one, Kiss was charging 10 grand to do that. You're not even in the same league, brother. I would say maybe like 1,500 to take a tour bus. I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna sit down and all you're gonna say is, "So, what do you want to talk about?" I don't know. I don't know, dude. Really, what can we talk about? What do you want to talk about?
That's what I'm saying is, we definitely need that Cody swerve, Cody turning heel. It's just going to take
Ain't
too
gonna
long.
happen.
It is
Ain't gonna happen.
like you said, it's gonna be a Hogan thing for years, maybe years, maybe not. But let's talk about what Slay Walker wants to talk about and his big corporate ideas.
So
Because we're
my
not going
what
to
if
talk about
is
my Wyatt Six and how they got their lantern back on a weak ass story. So let's talk
no.
about
We need to talk about that first because that was absolutely
um,
weak. They
yeah.
dropped the ball on that. Like seriously,
Yeah.
here's your lantern back. Like, so what happened there? Are they just giving up on
Well,
the story or what? Like that was the stupidest thing. You build this, you could have went a million different directions, had some awesome storylines, and it's cursed us. Just give it back. Really?
Yeah.
okay. So I'll say it, and I said it before. The lantern lights the way for the Wyatts.
Right.
So if the MFT had the lantern, they could have twisted up the Wyatts even darker, even more twisted. They could have done
Right.
a Fiend Point 2.0 for somebody. They could have turned one of the NFT and did something with them. Look at Tama. Tama could have did something. We have
Right.
not had the voodoo curse of a Samoan, twisted doctor or whatever, dark religion that Samoans have. I don't know the
It
stories.
should have been Solo. Solo was the one that was going crazy because of it. It should have been
Yes.
Solo. Solo should have turned, and that's what it should have. It should have been Solo 100%.
And
I'm
I'll
not
tell you
gonna-
what, that I'm not the hugest Wyatt Six fan. I liked him and everything, but dude, they did the Wyatt Six wrong. With this
Yeah.
whole thing, they did them wrong. They didn't give them enough airtime. They should have let them dudes be the monsters that they were, let them wreak havoc on both shows, been the creepy, scary, horror type things that needed to happen, and they could have rolled with it. But what did they do? Let's give you some momentum. Stop. Oh, wait a minute. A little bit more moment. Stop. A little bit. Stop. It's stupid.
Injuries happened and everything, but injuries aren't going to stop the Vision story.
Right.
So you want to milk the legacy of the great Bray Wyatt, who was a master storyteller, a master long storyteller.
Right.
Yeah.
All the things that happened with the Fiend, no matter how many bad matches they booked him or whatever, the Fiend was a character you wanted. Even if you got 2 minutes of something from Bray Wyatt a week, you wanted to watch it.
This will probably surprise you, Jay. This will probably surprise you. And I will say this. When they had Bray Wyatt as champion, as the Fiend, and they had Goldberg come back, do you know how pissed I was? I'm a Goldberg fan. Do you know how pissed I was that they had Goldberg go out there and squash Bray Wyatt? I'm like, that is the stupidest thing you could ever do. You built the Fiend up, and then guess what? Now you just buried him. That is the dumbest thing I ever seen. Number one, Goldberg didn't even need the belt. Why even worry about it? And they did that.
You watered down the legacy of this storyline of what you could have done with it. Fine, the MFT wasn't working. Fine, the Wyatt Six's storyline with the MFT wasn't working because you tried it 3 times and then you finally kept going with it. Right. Now it's fucking watered down. Excuse my language. And now they got the lantern back. Now what are you gonna do with the legacy of the brother the true the real life brother of Bray Wyatt. What are you going to do with this storyline with them?
Well, what I don't understand, what can you possibly do now storyline telling? What do you do now? It's like it's over.
I don't
Here
even
it
know.
is. You got it. Where do you go?
Honestly, WWE really, I mean, excuse my language, but they shit the bed with this one.
They did.
You know,
big time.
they really messed up. I mean, like you said, they could have, you know, pushed this as like a horror faction, comes out, beats the crap out of people, and then takes off. You know, they don't you don't have to give them a match. Just have them come out of the crowd and shut the lights off, do the lanterns, do the phones, you know, and just have them come wreak havoc on both shows, and then you know, let them do that. But no, I feel like, and like you guys said, Bray Wyatt was one of my favorite wrestlers. Bray Wyatt was a great storyteller, even from the beginning when he was just the Wyatt family, you know. And you know, when the Fiend started happening, when he was doing like the Playhouse and stuff like that, and he was all giddy and wearing his gym gear and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden he'd say, "Let me in," and you get a flash of the Fiend, and like, whoa, what is this? You know, and it was just showed his creativity, and WWE's really, you know, dropped the ball with that and his legacy and his storytelling.
It's like I said, I can't understand this. I got excited when they first came back. I got excited. I'm like, okay, they're going to give them time. They're going to do the storyline right because they were appearing. They were dark. They were doing the horror stuff. They were appearing, doing all the stuff. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Roll with this. Roll with it. Roll with it. Roll with it. And what do? Boom. They didn't do anything right with it. Nothing right with that whole thing. Nothing. Terrible.
The only savior that it could be, and it kind of ties into your theories, but if your theory is correct, then you have the dark against the corporation, like the ministry was before. It was me all along, Austin, when it was the ministry versus the corporate. That's the only thing that could really save them anymore. But let's
get into this. So I'm gonna drop my theory about what I think is happening overall in WWE. First off, I think The Rock is going to be the corporation. The seeds have been planted. Cody turned it down. I believe The Rock is going to be involved in the CM Punk Roman Reigns. He is going to make sure that CM Punk wins. That lays the seed to WrestleMania next year in Saudi, where him and Roman are going to fight. He is going to be the one that helps Randy Orton out. He is going to beat Cody Rhodes. Jade Cargill match. Jade and her new faction are going to become part of the corporation, but Bianca Belair is going to come out. She is going to help Jade. That's how they're going to secure that title. And on the other hand, Bianca Belair is going to win the Monday Night title because honestly, I don't think anybody really cares about Stephanie McCure or Liv Morgan being champion. They put Bianca over there. Now you have a faction. The tag team belts, you got the two women that are amazing that I don't think anybody can beat. They're going to be part of the corporation. So what this sets up is, I believe it's kind of like when WCW got taken over by NWO. Everybody is going to be either part of the corporation or they're going to be part of WWE, if that makes sense. They're going to have to rally around each other to beat the corporation because the corporation is going to be cheating. They're going to do anything they want, and they're going to have the corporate policies behind them. This sets up a lot of storylines. I'm here for it because honestly, what's happening now most of the time on these shows is pretty lame. This is almost like a reset. Let's take everything we've done, everything that is crap. We can, because at that point they can look at me like, all right, division sucks, get rid of it. This sucks, get rid of it. This sucks, get rid of it. Let's realign everybody and make them either be on the corporation side or this side with The Rock running it. And that's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but that's just what I think from seeing everything that I'm seeing. I think that's going to happen.
I've been trying to keep track of what The Rock's filming and everything. Not much has been mentioned since he won the award and everything from the what was that movie with the Dave Mirra movie?
Yep.
Which was a decent movie for the storyline that it was. But anyways, The Rock doesn't really have anything on his plate, so it could be run for 6 months, and then once they kick The Rock's out, then he can go back to Hollywood or whatever. You know what? WWE needs The Rock. I'll say it.
Well, think about this, Jay. Does The Rock really need to be there to run the corporation?
No.
Can he phone it in every week and do a reel and be on the screen and be like, I don't have to be there because
Wow.
this is going to take care of it. See what I'm saying?
That's true.
He could still do his filming. All he has to do is vignettes, and all it has to be is a storyline that goes.
So since Rock is the head of that, though, who's going to be the mouthpiece for WWE then? Who do they bring in for that?
So I know it wouldn't happen in my crazy mind because I'm an old school dude, and I think it would be awesome. It will never happen. This is a what if that I know that will never happen. But can you imagine if Sting came and tried to rally everybody because he was the guy that rallied WCW against NWO and made everybody fight against NWO? If he came in not to wrestle, just as somebody who comes in and says, I have been through this. I experienced it on the Monday Night Wars. You guys need to get together and go against this corporation. It'll never happen. I know it will never happen. In my world,
no.
it would be awesome.
I'm in the same loop as you though, but I'm thinking, what about Steve Austin? Why not bring Stone Cold?
I don't think Steve Austin would. The only reason I don't think it would be because he's too involved with his side-by-side racing, his other projects and everything. I just don't think he wants to be involved. Yeah.
Hey, but like you said, though, he doesn't need to be there. He can just cut vignettes.
But the problem, though, is
no.
On that side, on the good side, hold on a second. On the good side, you have to have somebody there that's there every week leading the troops. Yeah, you can't have somebody phoning it in. You have to. It has to be there.
The Rock is a vignette promo guy. You know, he's done a lot, and Stone Cold did a little bit, but the thing that makes Stone Cold popular is that glass shatter. He comes down to whoop some ass.
Well, not just that, he also took on the corporation in the Attitude Era.
Right.
Okay. I see what you're saying with that.
Now, here's something else, though. What if Stephanie, Jay, Jay, because you talked about it earlier, what if Stephanie's part of this with The Rock? And what if Triple H is part of this with The Rock?
Okay, so the only
she
way
went out there, slapped Cody, said, you can't handle it.
The way that this works is if they do what they did where it was Linda versus Vince. So then Triple H is the mouthpiece for WWE and Stephanie's the mouthpiece for the corporation. Triple H will bring in, Roman Reigns, LA Knight, Jey Uso, all the ones that, just aren't hitting that meter, quite yet. And then, but again, I need something dark, dude. I need something that doesn't make sense.
What if it's Triple H and Stephanie are on the Rock side? And what if the man, the myth, the legend himself comes out, rallies the truth, The Undertaker? He doesn't have to wrestle, but he was the locker room leader. And you want to talk about dark, that's your guy that's dark. And he doesn't have to wrestle. He just needs to be that guy that is pushing the troops and being that guy that's against the corporation, because he was the WWE flagship guy for how long? And he doesn't want to see WWE being taken over by The Rock.
But that's that's what got me into wrestling was the ministry versus the corporation.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, and why can't we have that again? It's just new players. New players.
Okay, do you guys, since we're talking ministry corporation, do you guys remember the Union? It was long-lived. Or it wasn't very long. It was only around for a short period of time. It was Shamrock, Mankind, Test, the Union. Yeah, those guys. I don't know why they didn't move forward with that. They just killed that off. It was like after Mick Foley and Ken Shamrock had left the corporation with Test, and then they formed the Union. Which it was just funny if you think about a union corporation, all that stuff. But honestly,
the reason why it didn't last though was the RIP Test and then Ken Shamrock and all his craziness outside of the ring supposedly. That's why it didn't last. It's just kind of like uncensored. When they did the Steve Richards and Godfather and all them. That was a good storyline as well.
Oh,
But
the right to censor. Oh God,
Right
was
to
Val
censor.
Venus, Steven Richards, and Ivory, and all those. Yeah, the Good Father. He wasn't the Godfather. He was the Good Father.
He was a good father. Good father.
What if the Godfather comes back and rallies the troops, Jay?
Hey, as
Pimpin' ain't
long as
easy,
he
brother.
brings the
Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy. That would be awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But I think you're right. I think you're right about one thing. If it doesn't go to this whole big corporation, I think you're right about Randy Orton and The Rock, and I think CM Punk finally being a corporate guy, and at least those two. At least those two. If it doesn't go against the whole everything, I think it's going to be two champions. Going to be.
Look at Jade though. Look at her attitude. Look at how they're prepping her. I'm that bitch. I'm this. That is straight up like Rock attitude right there. I think
that's early Rock attitude too. When he was getting ready to leave the nation, like The Rock was that way also. So I mean, I feel like The Rock would do something like that in order for him to feel like he's got a full grasp on WWE. He has to have both world champions and then a women's champion. He has to have all the titles.
Right.
Yeah. As much as he hasn't been around or bailed on the John Cena storyline, Rock has shares in it, and TKO loves The Rock and Saudi loves The Rock. So if Saudi's to happen, The Rock's gonna be involved somehow. So I think that's the route that it's gonna go, and I'm here for it. I agree with you guys. The only thing I want to see is, remember when The Rock went from Rocky Valvia or Malvia and everything, and he started talking in third person.
Right.
I would love
Die Rocky Die, those promos.
Yeah. But I would love to see somebody like Jade third person it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't beat Jade Cargill. You can't do this. You can't, Jade says,
right.
The Rock says know your role and shut your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, back in the day when you had the Monday Night Wars and you had WCW going against NWO, those were some fantastic years right there. I think if you mix it between a mix of WCW, NWO, and WWE going against a corporation and blended that together, I think it makes for awesome TV.
And what's weird about it is they've got all the YouTubers, all the big YouTubers in WWE and everything. They aren't pushing the buttons that they used to push with the Attitude Era. Here and there, you might get something, but man, as much as the world is twisted up and you can talk about this and you talk about that and get cancel culture and everything, this needs to be something that WWE crosses the line. Like wrestling used to cross the line, and that's what brought everything in. We're not seeing that. The last thing we saw was CM Punk talk about Roman Reigns' dead father.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about his dog dying or whatever? Because Drew McIntyre's long time cat just died, and he's like, hey, I'll never talk about CM Punk's dog. Because pets are people's children too.
Yeah.
Right.
So what twist are we gonna get with Roman and CM Punk in the next 2 weeks? How many power bombs through tables are we gonna get? I don't need that. I need a twist factor.
What if
I need a Swift? I need a
What if Jimmy and Jay have had enough of dealing with the tribal chief, and the big swerve is at WrestleMania they do the Rock's business and they get CM Punk to win the title against Roman Reigns.
That's the thing too, is because remember when Solo started MFT, that's all part of the plan. This was somebody else talking about this. There was somebody else. That all these little things that didn't, add up finally need to add up in this men's soap opera of ours.
Right.
Or what if, we'll say this then, right? Where Jimmy and Jey Uso. What if Jimmy is the one that turns because he's like, hey, I got a brand new baby. I got to pay my bills, and he's the one that turns on Roman to help CM Punk and turns on his brother and turns heel.
Again.
But
here's
the
thing
thing
is they don't utilize Jimmy. Jimmy's a mouthpiece. Jimmy can wrestle. Jimmy does great backstage, dude. Anytime Jimmy smacks somebody, it's bigger than Stephanie McMahon's smack.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it is why not Rock get with them and them do the Rock's business, and Rock has the tag team champions too, because they're going to get it back. The Vision's not going to have the belts.
They need to just end the Vision and just change the whole name and everything like that. The Vision's dead. Breaker's out for a while.
Well, that's the thing, right?
If
they do this corporation thing, they can hit that reset button. And what are you talking about, the Vision? Mandela effect. That never happened. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Never happened. Never happened, right? So they can pretty much reset everything, get a clean slate, and just build it. Because if the corporation were to take over, does anybody care about the Vision or what happened before? Everybody's like, oh my God, who's going against the corporate, this, and this. All the dead storylines can end. They can have a clean reset.
Yeah.
That's
dude, there's a lot of what ifs. Let's go back to Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins and Gunther. What if Gunther? Hold on, though. I'm a Seth Rollins and a Gunther guy. What if Gunther is the new Paul Heyman guy?
And see, that's the crazy thing. I've seen memes or people talking about Gunther is the new member of the Vision. I'm like, what sense does that make? Like,
I don't think it'll be the Vision though. I think the Vision's going to die off. I think it might have something to do with Gunther and Royce Keys. Put those two together. Have an alliance right now with Paulie Dangerously. Maybe a Dangerous Alliance 2.0. Who knows?
Who knows? It's so crazy because you look at this and you're like, but you look at this, right, and you're like, do they continue with certain things, or do they just end things and be like, okay, just act like it never happened. It never happened. Let's move on. We got a clean slate and go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
There's so many what ifs, man. What ifs are in my brain all the time. I'll sit here at night and be like, man, what if they would have did this? What if they would have did that?
I will say this. Are you guys more excited about this WrestleMania than the past couple ones? Because I'll tell you what, the past couple ones were like lame. Yeah. I'm excited about this one.
I'm excited about this one.
So many swerves.
I think there's going to be a lot of things that we are not expecting to happen that are going to happen.
I hope so, because we have not had any jaw-dropping moments in pay-per-views for wrestling in the last 5 years. I think the last big jaw drop for any pay-per-view was when Roman Reigns finally came back from COVID and started running. So I think the Bloodline and all that was the last big boom for wrestling, and they need to figure it out.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you.
Yep. But I'm excited.
Here's another what if too. This is what if from way back in the day. What if Eric Bischoff would have opened the door for DX when they showed up on Monday Night Nitro?
Oh, man.
It would have changed the whole it would have changed everything.
The problem with that though is with that, but so that would have been a shoot fight. That wouldn't have been. That wouldn't have been a work. There would have been a shoot fight. And I hate to say this, but those four guys walking into a WCW locker room with no backup, those guys would have got beat down bad. Because I think that's legitimate. You had legitimate tough guys in WCW at that time. Legitimate tough guys.
Like if you think about it though, like that would have changed the entire. It would have changed everything for pro wrestling. Right. WCW might still be alive today if that would have happened. We don't know.
Right.
Because I'm only saying that because I just watched DX's documentary this afternoon, and I was like, damn, what if that would have happened? And then Eric Bischoff's like, I was in the ring cutting a promo, and if I'd have known they were there, I would have told them, open the doors, please. And then, you got Chris Jericho in the documentary, like, yeah, I was on the other side of the garage door when they were banging on it.
See, it could have gone good or it could have gone. So it depends. If they would have opened the doors, who was back there? Was it guys that would have been like, okay, this is going to be cool, have them come in, or is it going to be the
No.
guys who be like, screw these guys, let's whoop their
Yeah.
ass? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, you know,
And my last little bit of sprinkle is, man, I am loving some Danhausen.
Yeah.
that guy is awesome.
Did
dude.
y'all see him accidentally curse the referee?
Oh God.
But it worked. It worked though because Miz caused the accident and it nailed him.
Yep.
I was dying laughing. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, R-Truth and Damian Priest are gonna lose the titles. And then all of a sudden the referee's like, oh, my arm. And I was like, oh,
The curse.
What if Jay Danhausen's part of the Rocks Corporation and goes around and
Oh
curses everybody?
no. Mm-mm.
I don't think that's gonna happen either.
So,
I
but
think
here's the real question for you guys. What is Danhausen going to do at WrestleMania? Because you know it's going to be hilarious. Danhausen's going to do
man.
something hilarious at WrestleMania.
I want to see him wrestle. I want to see a match because he does wrestle really well. I can't wait to see. So, what I loved about the little Danhausen moment was, they caught him and then the lights go out and I'm like, ooh, I love the mysterious strangeness of it. And then you see him like running away. That killed me. That killed me.
Sean actually almost did.
Yes.
He almost did leave to go to NWO.
Yes.
I believe he got a ridiculous number thrown at him because he was Big Sexy and Razor Ramon, or shall we say Hall and Nash, and they wanted him to come, and there was a big number thrown at him, but he wanted to stay at WWE with Vince. He wanted to stay being a Vince guy.
There was a little bit of more money thrown. Vince said, hey, we're going to make you this, we're going to make you that. And then it turned into a whole big, Sean was supposed to be the top guy. And then, and Triple H was right there. Triple H has always been right there behind the scenes and everything. But then Stone Cold got popular. Stone Cold got that one. And Bret Hart really made sure that Stone Cold got his moment over Sean.
Well, and the thing is too is like with the whole Shawn Michaels thing, that when he was getting ready to leave WWE, it was when he lost his smile, and that's when he wanted to leave to go to WCW, and then Vince was like, absolutely not going to happen. Vince put his foot down and said, no, you're not leaving. This isn't going to no. So Shawn ended up staying. He stayed out for a while, relinquished the title, and honestly, the whole Stone Cold thing. Stone Cold was born because of the whole incident at Madison Square Garden with the Clique. They all get in the ring, hug each other, and they do the too sweet symbol. And then it's Triple H gets in trouble, and he was supposed to win the King of the Ring that year and get a push against Shawn for the title until that happened. And a lot of people don't know that, but that was really what set up Stone Cold Steve Austin with the Austin 316 said, "I just whipped your ass," because he cut. Stone Cold comes out, you talk about your Psalms, you talk about this, you talk about that. He goes, well, Austin 316 says, I just whipped your ass. There it is. And then, there's my generation's Hulk Hogan right there, born.
Right. Yep. The only time I ever felt bad for Triple H, remember when he was doing the whole Hunter Hearst Helmsley thing, dressed up?
Yeah.
And when he had the Ultimate Warrior squash match where Ultimate Warrior squashed him.
Oh, dude.
He didn't take that match. He sold the pedigree. Yeah.
Well, Ultimate Warrior no-sold everything and just squashed him. And I'm like, what was the reasoning behind this? Like, everything that kept going through my mind is what did Triple H do, or Hunter at the time do? Like, he's on punishment. Like, that was like a no-sell squash match. I'm like, what did he do wrong?
Bro, I mean, the thing is I just feel like Ultimate Warrior was just an asshole. At the end of the day, people talk about him and how he was backstage. Like, what was it, SummerSlam or Survivor Series, when he told Vince
him hostage.
Held him hostage, and then Vince fired him after the event was over.
I will say this. I liked Ultimate Warrior for the character in the ring, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's kind of like this when I look at people. I liked his character. I liked what he did when he came out. The biggest problem is you, myself, and Jay will never know what happened backstage.
No,
that's true.
We all know this.
Look
haters hate, and think about this. How many people were jealous of that guy for what he was able
Yeah.
to do? His
Yeah.
look, what he created. It's very easy for guys in the back to look and be like, that guy was an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he was. I'm sure and I'm not defending that because I wasn't there either. But at the end of the day, are we paying to be backstage with you guys, or are we paying to watch what they do
Yeah.
on stage?
Paying to
I
watch
mean,
him in the ring, 100%.
One
Right.
more that I saw this week that I never knew about. Dustin Rhodes and oh my gosh, I want to say Brawler. They did a match in the back of a hay truck at 55 miles an hour during WCW.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And they got fired because of that. And so then we got Dustin Rhodes over to WWE for Goldust,
Gold dust. Yep.
And as much as everyone doesn't give Dustin Rhodes credit, Goldust was a character, dude.
Yeah,
to this
100%.
day, I would, and in the day and age that we are in 2026, they need to bring Goldust back.
I don't think they can because I don't think people would. I think if Goldust did what he did before now, there's no way. He would be. Dude, it'd be done.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome. I think he did an awesome job. I really felt bad for him when he left WWE. They brought him to WCW, and he was that 7 character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad.
That lasted like 10 minutes, and they were trying to make him out to be this nightmare dream guy that like kidnapped kids and all sorts of crazy stuff. And I'm like, dude, like,
and when he was Black Rain in TNA, like I liked him and that stuff too.
Yeah.
But he brought a lot of people on, and both him and Cody have wrestling schools down there. Like, he was actually just advertising about, hey, come learn how to wrestle. I was like, man, if I wasn't about 40, I might go down.
Jay, you still got this, dude. I still got it. I'll tell you what. You go do it. Shifty and I'll be your clique. I'll be your manager because I'm kind of old and smaller now. I'll be your manager. You be like Shawn Michaels, and Shifty, you be like Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah,
I'm good with that.
All right,
we'll just go. You take the bumps. I'll work the mic. I'll be like your Enzo, and we'll get this going, man. What could go? What could go wrong? What could go wrong with that?
My body, but okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll get paid, Jay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
come
true.
on.
That's true.
It's all good. It's all
that's
good.
True. Yeah. I didn't even realize the time, dude. We have been on this.
Yeah.
That's because there's so much to talk about this WrestleMania, man. There's so much stuff that is unknown with this one.
Much.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the women's tag team championship. I think, what is that? A 3-way or 4-way?
I think it's a 4-way. I think it's 4 teams. Yeah.
That's insane to me. I mean, it kind of makes sense because none of these women, none of these tag teams can take on Nia and Lash.
I just hope it's not the Bellas, man. I just hope the Bellas don't win it.
Dude, if they win, oh my God, if they win, that's going to be a terrible decision right there.
100%, I agree. Like it's oh my God, it makes me sick to my stomach thinking they're going to win, and I'm just getting over a sickness. It's making me sicker.
Right. Another thing I was thinking about too, since we're on the women's division. How crazy would it be if Rhea found herself alone? Because Io came out the other night. How crazy would it be if Io flipped and turned heel?
I'm here for it.
I'm
here for it.
Maybe she joins. Maybe she joins
tired
up
of the whining Io guy. She was.
Yeah.
I always liked Io as a villain. I loved her and Asuka together. I'm ready for the who's with Asuka that gets bullied by her.
Kairi
Sane.
Yeah, I'm ready for that to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not utilizing. Asuka was a undefeated champion through Next and most of her WWE, and they are not utilizing her.
Well, I know she can't go like she used to because of her knee. She does have a knee problem.
Yeah.
So she can't go like she used to. But she's fantastic.
But they've milked her down a lot. A lot.
Right.
I'm ready to see Kevin Owens come back. He's cleared to wrestle, so let's
Is
get it
he?
going.
Is
From
he?
what I read he's cleared, but that could be just a hearsay on a speculation. But from what I've read, he's cleared to come back and wrestle. So I mean, that would be nice to see him to come back. And I miss KO. KO is a great performer. He's great on the mic.
I would love to see him back. I just think they got to do it after WrestleMania because there's too many swerves going on. I think there's just too much going on, But this is an awesome question by Robert Allen. Why did they even bring the Bellas back? Can anybody answer that? Like, why are they even here? What are they here for?
Cougar sell.
Dude, I gotta tell you what. With the money that WWE has and TKO has, if they wanted Cougar appeal, they could have got a lot hotter women than them too.
That's true. 100%.
A lot of them said no. I'm just saying, a lot of them said no.
Dude, there's always OnlyFans. They could have got some OnlyFans chicks. Seriously.
Whatever.
They could have brought back what's her face. What's the girl they fired for having Mandy?
Mandy Rose, yeah.
Bring Mandy Rose back.
And that's another thing, and not to get too deep into it, but you got all these YouTubers and all this shit. Why, if you're trying to open the doors for, what the streaming services are nowadays, why not bring back Mandy? There was talks about Paige coming back or whatever her name's gonna be.
Well, there's talk about Sasha Banks coming back too.
All right, I'm done.
So hold on though. Since we're talking about women coming back though, what's oh my god, what's her name? Soho. She wrestled with oh my god, it's not Ruby Soho.
Oh
yeah.
Was she the one that came out in the tank?
She's the one that had like the stretched ears. She got her nose broken by AEW pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
And then she was off for a while, but she's a punk rock chick. She led that one all women's faction.
Yes, I know who you're talking. Ruby, I know what one.
Ruby Soho. Ruby, yeah.
Is it Ruby Soho? Is that her name?
Oh, it's Ruby.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's something Soho. I know her last name is something Soho, but why not bring her back? She was a good talent. She was good on the mic.
Right.
She could wrestle. Like there's a lot of women wrestlers that WWE really dropped the ball on.
Right. Well, when you look at this,
it is Ruby Soho.
Right. Ruby Soho, yeah.
Right. When you look at this, right? Can anybody look and say, "My God, the Bellas can compete nowadays"? Like it's totally 100% believable that any three of those teams that are in that match against them that they could beat them girls. It's not believable. Like everybody looks and goes, why are they here? Like when they had that match, when they're trying to line up against Nia and Lash Legend, I'm like, who even believe that it's less than 1% of a millionth that they could win?
They're trying to give off the David versus Goliath.
Dude, it is ridiculous, man. Those women can't, not taking anything away. Ruby Riot, the Riot Squad.
Riot Squad.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Ruby
Robert
Soho.
Allen.
Yep.
But
thank you.
When you look at this, you're like, back in their day, they were good, but they can't. Why? Why have them here? For what? Like I said, and I know people get mad when I said this, why not have a nostalgia league? Have all these nostalgic people that wrestle that want to come back, have a nostalgic league, and they can wrestle in the nostalgic league. Because they're blocking all this young talent. The Bellas, anytime they're on screen, are blocking time that new up-and-coming women could be on screen.
I agree.
So give them a nostalgia league.
Why not give them a once a year thing? Give them like a Legends Royal Rumble. Bring 30 legends in and do a Legends Royal Rumble.
Right.
You know who they haven't brought back? Who I miss? Who is the black girl versus Sable that Flash when she was
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yeah. Dude.
Yep.
She could wrestle. She
Yeah,
wasn't a bikini model when they were starting to do all the
she's a powerhouse.
gravy fights.
Yeah, she was strong.
She was a powerhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a powerhouse, man. She was a powerhouse.
There's so many, you know. I mean, there's so Molly Holly. She was a great women's wrestler. Ivory was a good wrestler. There's a lot of women that were really good wrestlers back then. But the problem is that it wasn't when Attitude Era was all about, it was sex sells. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with athleticism or anything like that. Like what we're getting now. So I mean, I think if Molly Holly, Jacqueline, Ivory were in this day and age in pro wrestling, I think they'd be phenomenal, 100%.
Still,
You know,
still to this day.
something just came to my mind, and it doesn't make sense. The rumor about Tiffany Stratton maybe taking the place of Rhea, right?
Yeah,
If she's getting punished and she's going down to NXT and all this, why would they all of a sudden make it Tiffany? Because of all that drama that Charlotte and her and all that off script stuff,
yeah.
they're really going to do that. So that makes no sense to me at all.
And just a
she's on
squash match.
punishment-
They do a squash match to make her look awful, and then that's why they send her down to NXT.
I mean, but at the same time, Jade's already beat her. What's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me sometimes what they do, you know. And look at Tiffany. They built her up. How much money they spend on her? Look at her entrances that she did. That Barbie entrance and all that. They spent big money on her. Now they're just
That was money.
It was.
Money.
Well, the thing is, you know, she ran her mouth and went off the script and said something about someone's personal life, which I get it. You know,
Sure.
you shouldn't air dirty laundry out that's not yours.
Right.
So, you know, at the end of the day, I guess, you know, we all got to reap what we sow. So, I mean, she said what she said. And now she's got to, you know, like, you just got to deal with it now. You got to deal with the issues that come along with it. But, you know, the thing is like the WWE right now, the current state of WWE, there's issues. There's a lot of issues. We all know that as fans that have been watching this for years, you know, years and years and years. And, you know, they really have to get a creative team in there that's going to, you know, take off with everything. I read, there's another article I read too that said that Triple H was getting fired after Mania.
That's what I heard too. There was an article there too.
April Fool.
Yep.
It wasn't April Fool's though. This came out. It was like 2 days ago.
I read it on April 1st. That's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's multiple things. Like even
unless lawsuits like what's happening with Vince happens, Triple H ain't going nowhere. Steph ain't going anywhere. They got some money in this.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. What's the forthcome? You know, I mean, we haven't heard nothing about Shane McMahon. You know, last time he was seen was AEW, him meeting with Tony Khan.
Right.
You know, nobody knows.
You know, and that's the crappy thing about all of this is fine. TKO, you know, they brought them in and this and that and blah blah. They just need to go back to not having logos all over the ring and the wrestlers,
right,
and on the tables and in the middle of the ring and everything. Like it's too commercialized. It doesn't feel like wrestling from when we were kids.
It's a billboard. It's a billboard now.
Right.
That's all it is.
Billboard, yeah.
Right.
And honestly, that's, you know, that makes sense, you know, to what was said earlier about the corporation thing, because they're making it more of a corporate entity now. So why would they not want to have a corporate team versus the WWE team? You know, and that makes a lot of sense. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, the merchandise they could sell, video games, like look back in the day, Nintendo 64 had WCW versus NWO Revenge. It's one of the greatest video games of all time. You know, SmackDown versus Raw video games. You know, when you think about it, there's so many things, you know, that they could run with off of this. They just have to come. It has to be a catchy name. It can't be the corporation, because that's nostalgic and more like a tribute to Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? And I think it'd be great, honestly, for TV, because then you never know what's going to happen. And instead of having two separate shows, have there be one combined show. You know, have it be, you know.
Oh man, I miss when it was everybody was on both shows.
Yeah,
I hate the separate rosters. I've hated the separate rosters since I was probably 14.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
as long as they had 2 or 3 shows a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you're not going to fit everything in on a 2-hour show or a 3.
Well, that's they dropped the ball on Sunday Night Heat. Right. I mean,
well, they had Velocity too that showed off young talent, which that's now what NXT is almost. As NXT is like Velocity was.
You know, it'd be fantastic too. Imagine this. Imagine the corporation is not just SmackDown and Raw, but it creeps into NXT trying to build the next generation of corporation.
And I can name,
and that's what they need, because we're relying too much on old heads in WWE.
I can name 2 guys right now that would be a part of the corporation. That's Ethan Page and Ricky Saints.
Right.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, man, those guys, I'm telling they would be a part of it.
But you think about it, it could generate a lot of people watching over 3 shows because
Yeah.
if you did it correctly and you were like, oh, it starts off with these 4 champions, and let's say the women's click, and then like, who's going to be next? Because that's what everybody did. Like initially with NWO, before it was everybody was an NWO member.
Yeah.
But initially it was who's going to be the next member. It drew a lot of excitement because you didn't miss it. You wanted to tune in to find out, oh my gosh, who's going to join?
Yeah.
Who's going to
You were
be part?
definitely changing
Who's
you were
gonna
definitely
turn?
changing the channel to WCW back then. It was
Right.
always, I'm hitting the last
channel.
button. I'm going to
button.
WCW to see what's going on with NWO.
Right, right.
Yep.
And I mean, they could generate a lot
Yeah.
of, what happens if, I mean, they're still tied into TNA too, I believe. I
Yeah,
mean, drawing,
100%.
bringing up people from TNA being like your corporation,
We don't
Yeah.
have to get into it, but one storyline that I'm following on TNA right now is the Hardys versus the Righteous.
Yep,
Right.
100% told my. I've been watching it.
Yep.
Right. But
there's so many things and so many. I mean, and that's the thing. That's where WCW's issue was too back in the day. For one, it was guaranteed contracts. You only make the guys work a certain amount of days. But then they only had so much talent. So when they started WCW Thunder, they were stretching talent thin. You know what I mean? So, and that was their big thing with Bret Hart. Oh, we're going to bring you on. You're going to be the main guy of Thunder, and we're going to show you exclusively pretty much on Thunder. You'll be on Nitro once in a while, but it just it was bad business back then, and honestly, that was out of Bischoff's hands. That was Ted Turner. Like, hey, they love what we're doing on Mondays. We're going to give you a show on Thursday. You're going to compete with Vince on from SmackDown. It was Thursday night SmackDown, Thursday night Thunder. We're going to flip. And at the same time, it was on. And I'm not going to lie, I watched Thunder a little bit just for like the cruiserweights.
Right. Well, the other problem too is like I said, when NWO came out, it was cool, but then it was like everybody was a member, and you're like, okay, so everybody on the roster is an NWO member. So what sense does this make now? You know what I mean?
100%.
The only thing that really generally came out of NWO that was spectacular was Crow Sting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
right there.
I agree 100%.
If they would have ran it where it would have been an elite select few in NWO, they could have ran that storyline for a long time. But when you got Dennis Rodman showing up and he's part of the NWO, I mean, cool, right? But you're like, everybody is NWO. Like everybody's a member.
But then you had Mike Tyson. You had Mike Tyson on WWE.
Yeah,
but that was for a one-time thing, though. Rodman showed up twice, I believe, on WCW. And NWO really ran it thin with the NWO, like WCW did with the NWO. Because, literally, Dusty Rhodes as a commentator was a part of the NWO. Big Bubba, which was the big boss, and was the NWO. There was just too many. IRS, I don't remember what his name was in WCW, but he was NWO. And it's like, dude, it's like, come
Bray Wyatt's
on,
father
man.
right there.
He was NWO for a while. It's like, come on, man.
We had the solution because not only did we have NWO, but we had factions come off for that. The Wolf Pack, the red and black NWO. So now we had
the Wolf Pack was cool, man.
I don't care what you say.
No,
I bumped that song. I bumped that song.
Right. What I'm saying is it was cool, but the problem was they created a problem with everybody being some sort of NWA, tied to NWO in some way. Everybody was NWO. I think at the end of it, you had what? I think there was like 3 people or 4 wrestlers that were not part of any NWO faction left in WCW. Yeah. There was like nobody. I think Ric Flair was like the only one that wasn't part of any of those factions.
And they've now that you mention that, WCW ran super heavy on factions. You had the NWO, the Wolfpack, you had the LWO, you had the Filthy Animals, you had
the BWO, you had the Blue WO.
Well, that was an ECW.
That was an ECW. That wasn't part of ECW.
You had Ravens Flock. You had you had a bunch of groups.
Even at one point, they had Goldberg. They called him Goldberg the Cyborg. He was part of NWO for like 2 weeks, and then Mandela effect that never happened.
He was also a part, and he was a part of the New Blood too for a while there.
Right.
There's there's so many things. Like WCW was super heavy on factions.
Right.
WWE not so much. They wanted to push single stars. Yeah, they had DX. They had the corporation.
But look where we're turning now. Now look where we're turning. WWE is faction heavy. Yeah, it's faction heavy. And if they don't kill off this vision, or if they throw Gunther into the vision, because dude, all these stories are going to sink. We'll see what happens with WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is going to be the tide of the next year. Either WWE.
That's bad for Gunther though. If he goes with the vision, that's bad. That's bad for his career, because how do you have somebody calling him their career killer, and now he has to be backed up by guys when he was just rolling through people by himself? That's stupid.
The only saving grace is if Gunther is part of the vision, which means he's a Heyman guy, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to retire Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's the only saving grace.
Yeah.
That's the only saving grace.
I really hope that they don't try to milk this career killer and try to say he's gonna, is it gonna be Seth's career at WrestleMania? Because that's not happening yet.
Right.
No.
Right.
I really hope they don't go that route. I really
no. I don't think it's gonna go that way.
The problem is the storyline doesn't fit either, right? You look at this and you're like, out of nowhere, Gunther attacks Seth Rollins. Like, where's that coming from?
Yeah. And there's no build-up to it. So, I mean, honestly, that match makes no sense.
No sense.
That match makes no sense at all.
These two guys don't have a match at WrestleMania. We're not selling tickets, so maybe this will sell some more tickets. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
They could have hyped this up, and it's, oh nope, here he goes. He comes out, attacks him, points at the ring. Yep, okay, now we got a WrestleMania match. Okay, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, we have a lot to sink in the next 2 weeks. I hope at least some of our predictions have come true for the next year, because if not, you see me yawning, dude. I think Wrestle is going to be boring this next year if none of our predictions come true, and we're not the only ones saying it. All of wrestling podcasts online right now are saying it, but we are the Suplex Syndicate, so we said it first.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's this. If it doesn't happen, or things like, there's just too many things that could happen. If most of those don't happen, I think we're in for a boring next year until Saudi. I think it's going to be boring. And honestly, the only one thing I disagree with is I think Bianca's going to join Rhea and Io. That's the only thing I have to say that's different. I think she's going to come out and help Rhea Ripley. But I've been saying that for weeks now. So
I kind of think you're right on that, because Bianca's too much of a good a baby face to just automatically turn heel.
Perfect time to turn heel. Big three history.
I get that.
Her and Bianca never had a fallout. Remember that. They didn't have a fallout.
I get that. Right. But if she turns heel, Naomi just had that baby. Naomi's coming back, and they are not bringing Naomi back as a face. They better not.
She's going to come back with.
Now you've got the big three as all heels, and they can run over the women's division like no tomorrow, right there.
I think
because
it's the
you just said
Women's Nation.
The Rock is going to want to have both the heavyweight champions and both the women's heavyweight champions. You can't do that without having Bianca turn heel. You can't.
I feel like Bianca is like, she influences a lot of young girls being a good baby face. I feel like her going heel is going to. I think she worries about that too, is like messing with her brand and who she is as a person. So honestly, that's why I think she's going to stay going, babyface, and she's going to help Rhea out. But who knows? Nobody knows what's going on in wrestling right now.
Right.
Nobody knows. So I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, and especially in WWE right now. Especially with and I said this earlier in our chat. I said, TKO has their hands in the pot too much right now.
Right.
So who knows? They might force it and say, hey, this has to happen.
Right. It's either Bianca or Io turning heel. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
One of those two are going to do it. Yep. Because the problem is, if Bianca comes out and helps Rhea, that means Rhea's going to win. That's not going to happen. Rhea's not winning. So.
Or Bianca comes out, helps helps Rhea win and says, you owe me one now for what happened last year WrestleMania.
Well, think about this. You just kind of let the key right there. Bianca and Rhea have beef. Why is she going to come out and help Rhea? Bianca was supposed to wrestle Io by herself last year at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Rhea interjected herself into that match, made it a three-way.
Yeah.
Right.
There's still beef.
The beef,
Yeah,
the
you're
beef
kind of
is
right.
already there. It's already
Yeah.
there. It makes sense for her to turn heel and do that.
Yeah, I see that, but
And they
I
can
also
use
feel like it makes sense for her to help Rhea win also because she wants that one-on-one against Rhea. You know what I mean? She wants to make it, fair and square. I'm better than you.
Or do you take the easy route, go with Jade, have a faction, and you're almost guaranteed to go to Monday Night Raw and win it because you got your crew?
Yeah,
I think
that makes sense too.
even if Bianca goes heel, she's gonna be that heel that the fans cheer like Randy Orton.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think she can do no wrong because Jade and them are really showing, how nasty and filthy they can be. I think that
Right.
even if Bianca is somewhat down and dirty,
Mm-hmm.
it's still going to be
Right.
it's still going to be good for, and she
Right.
can, and look at Randy. Randy came down to the ring. He's still high-fiving kids and this and that. But then when he gets
Right.
in that ring, he's a different
Right.
animal. Bianca could do the same thing.
Right. And
He's
like
an
I
anti-hero though. He's not a
right.
he's in between babyface and heel. He's the anti-hero. He's
Right.
not full-fledged villain Randy Orton where he's
Sure.
getting in the crowd's face, acting like he's gonna smack fans and stuff like that.
Right.
He's an anti-hero. People are gonna still cheer him on, but they still want to see him do
But
bad things to people.
Sure. Sure.
but then you got CM Punk, who's supposed to be the global good guy, and you've got him giving the finger and grabbing his crotch at
He,
fans right now.
he's gonna that's gonna be the best heel turn right there, 100%. And
Right.
anybody that knows this, CM Punk is better as a heel than he is as a babyface.
Right.
True.
Right.
I mean,
My
anybody
thing-
that watched AEW when he was in AEW and his shoot on like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that was great
Right.
stuff right there.
My thing would be this. The timing is right for Bianca to do it. She's still early enough in her career that if she does flip and turn heel, she's got plenty of time to flip back and be a baby face. But I
Yeah,
think now's the right time because the story could be I've been gone. I got beef with Rhea. Never had a problem with Jade. Jade was right. Why do I need to worry about this? I just need to go out there and take care of business. And now I'm lined up with The Rock or if it happens, The Rock or Corporation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's perfect timing. But with that, let's close out. One last shout out to our main man who was not here today. Folks, if you're still watching or if you're watching this now, go out and check out the Elegant Sasquatch. You need to get the stuff in his beard. I got Rest in Peace in the beard today. This is awesome. Check him out. Do him a solid. Buy some product. He's a big dude. He needs to buy some sandwiches, as Jay would say. He's got, he's a big Sasquatch. He needs to be taken care of. So, folks, go out there, take care of the Elegant Sasquatch. For all of you out there, much love and respect. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We do this because we love the crowd. We love to chat, and we do it out of fun. But Jay, do us the honor. Send us out, brother.
Oh, Suplex Syndicate is out, brother.
Is that-